الرحيم. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله وبركاته. Math, grade 6. We are in chapter 10. Listen to volume of triangular prisms. Volume of triangular prism. See with me now this video.
In this video, we're going to be finding the volume of triangular prisms. Before we get started, let's discuss the parts of a triangular prism. Now, there is a tricky thing about a triangular prism, and it is that it is not always sitting on the base. We talked about in the last video that a prism has two parallel bases that are congruent, and they're separated. The distance between them is called the height of that prism. Well, in this case, let's look at the different examples and identify the base of each triangular prism. So I always like to remember that because it's called a triangular prism, we know that the base is a triangle. We can also look for the two congruent shapes that are parallel. So in looking at the purple figure, we're going to see that this triangle right here in the front and this triangle right here, the back of the figure, are parallel, they're congruent, and they're separated by this distance between them, which we will label as h, the height of the prism. And we're going to be talking about a lot of heights in this video, so I'll go ahead and label this as the height of the prism. In the aqua figure, it's a little bit different. We identify and find the triangles, the two bases that are parallel and congruent. I will shade it like this. So in this case, the aqua figure is actually sitting on the base, and the height of the prism is going to be represented right here at h, and that represents the height of the prism. In the orange figure, we have a similar situation where the prism is sitting on the triangle. So those are my bases, and my height is going to be represented right here. Triangular prisms also have the same formula as rectangular prisms, but there's a slight difference. We're still finding V, the volume of the prism. We're still using big B to represent the area of the base, and we're still using H to find the height of the prism. The thing that has changed is the big B right here actually represents the area of the base, which is the area of the triangle. And if you remember, we know that the area of the triangle, or of a triangle, can be represented by 1/2 base times height. So it's a little bit tricky because we have two heights. We have the height of the triangle that we're going to represent right here. And then we also have the height of the prism. So we have to be very careful to make sure we're using the correct height in the correct formula. Let's go ahead and look at this together. We want to find the volume of this triangular prism. So I always like to start by identifying the area of the base and the different measurements included. So to find the volume of the triangular prism, we're going to use our formula. We're going to find the area of the base. And in this case, the base is a triangle. I know that I can find that by saying 1/2 the base of the triangle times the height of the triangle, which I can represent as, I look at my figure, I'm looking at my triangle, I can see that this here 6 is my base, and the 5 represents my height. I can multiply that out, 6 times 5, get 30, and 1/2 of 30, I can see that my base is represented by 15. Use my inches squared. Now, that is a solution that represents the area of the base, but we want to find the volume. So we're going to go back to our original formula. And now we can go ahead and say the area of the base is represented by 15 inches squared, and the height of our prism is 12. When I solve that, I find that the volume of the triangular prism is 180 inches cubed. Go ahead and pause the video and try the same thing in this next problem. Just be careful to identify what the base is. Okay, so if we're working on this problem, we know that we're asked to find the volume of the triangular prism. We have our formula, volume equals the area of the base times the height. It's also sometimes a good idea to just go ahead and label your parts of your figure. So you could come over here and you could say that this is the height of the prism. This is the base of our triangle, and this is the height of our triangle. I'm going to go back. I'm going to find the area of the base. So I'm only looking at our triangle right now. You know, that's 1/2 base times height of the triangle. Base of my triangle is 8, and height of my triangle is 3. So I know that the area of the base is represented by 12 inches cubed. Now I can take that measurement, go back to my original formula. I know that volume is equal to the area of the base, which we found was 12, times the height of the prism, which is 6. So I know that the volume of this triangular prism is 72 inches cubed. Let's go ahead and look at a few other examples. This question says the volume of the prism below is 180 inches cubed. Find the height of the prism. Okay, so this one's a little bit different because it's actually giving us the volume. So let's go back to our original formula. Volume equals the area of the base times the height. I know that the volume of the prism is 180 inches cubed, so I can substitute that for V. And then I know there's the area of the base and the height. The question is asking for the height. So I know I'm going to have to come over here and use the information that it gives me to find the area of the base. So I know that's 1/2 base times height. I can look at my triangle, see that the base of the triangle is 12, the height is 10, and I can see that the area of the base is 12 times 10, 120. Half of 120 is 60 inches squared. I can take that back over here to my original equation and substitute the area of the base, or big B, with 60. And I'm going to solve my one-step equation by using inverse operations. And I can see that 3 inches represents the height of the prism. Go ahead and pause the video and try the next question. In this question, it says the volume of the prism below is 50 centimeters cubed. Find the area of the base of the prism. This one's a little bit, it's similar, but it's a little bit different. We're going to go back to our equation. Volume equals the area of the base times the height. It tells us the volume is 50. It's asking to find the area of the base, which we know is represented by big B. And the picture shows us that the height of the prism is actually 10. So we can use our inverse operations to solve for big B. We can see that 5 centimeters squared will represent the area of the base. And because that's all that it's asking, we don't have to do any other calculations. Let's look at a word problem. A box is shaped like a triangular prism for shipping rolled up maps and posters. How many cubic inches can the shipping box hold? So if you look at the figure, we can see that this is a triangular prism. I see the 8 inches and the 4 inches are representing the triangle's dimensions. See that 2 feet represents the height of my prism. And I see 5 7/10 inches is actually extra information. I don't really need this because it doesn't fit into the formula. It doesn't help us in any way. I also see and notice that the dimensions are different. So I go back to my question and it wants to know how many cubic inches. So I'm going to go ahead and convert 2 feet to inches. And I know that's 24 inches because 1 foot is 12 inches. So now that I have all my measurements in the same dimensions, I can go back to my formula. So there's my formula. I'm going to go ahead. I'm looking for the volume. I need to find the area of the base. My base is a triangle, so I'm going to use 1/2 base of the triangle times the height of the triangle. The base of my triangle is represented by 8. The height of the triangle is represented by 4 inches. I know that 8 times 4 is 32, and half of that is 16 inches squared. I'm going to go back to my original equation. I know that the area of the base, or big B, is represented by 16. And then I've already converted the height of my prism to be 24 inches. So now I just have to multiply, and I will find that the volume of the triangular prism is 384 inches cubed. Let's do one more. And you can go ahead and try this one on your own, and then I'll show you how we can do it together. The base of a triangular prism is shown below. The height of the prism is 9 inches. What is the volume of the triangular prism in cubic inches? So this one can be a little bit tricky because it's talking about a prism, but the picture is only showing you the area of the base, or it's only representing the base. So we're still trying to find, we still want to know the volume of the prism, but we're just going to have to envision it or sketch the prism or just represent. I like to just come over here and say that height equals 9 inches because that's what it says in the problem. So I'm going to go back to my original formula for the volume of a triangular prism. I don't know what the volume is. That's what I'm looking for. I have the dimensions of the base. So I'm going to go big B, or the area of the base, is a triangle. So I'm going to find the area of the triangle. Tells me that the dimensions of the triangle are 16 by 8. And I can see that the area of the base is represented by 64 inches squared. I'm going to take that back to our original volume formula. I have the area of the base represents 64 inches squared. And the problem also told me that the height was 9 inches. I'm going to multiply that by 9. And I know that the volume equals 576 inches cubed. Awesome job. So we practiced finding the volume of triangular prisms. If you need a little bit more practice, I'm going to show you 5 extra problems that you can solve on your own.
So today we want to learn how to find the volume of triangular prism. As you see here in this figure, we have a triangular prism here. How to know if is it a triangular or rectangular? As you see here, look to the base. Look to the base. If the base has triangle means I have triangular prism. Means I have triangular prisms. If the base has rectangle means I have rectangular prism. If the base has triangle means I have triangular prism. See with me now this video.
Chapter 10, Lesson 2, Volume of Triangular Prisms. A prism with bases that are congruent triangles is a triangular prism. To find the volume of a triangular prism, you use the formula V equals B times H, where B is the area of one of the triangle sides, and H represents the height from one triangle side to another triangle side. Example 1, find the volume of the triangular prism. So to find the volume of a triangular prism, you first have to find the area of one of the triangular sides. So the area of a triangular side is 1/2 times the base, which is 5, times the height, which is 10. 1/2 times 10 gives us 5, and then 5 times 5 gives us 25. So we have 25 for the triangular side. Now we have to multiply the triangular side with the height or the space between the triangle in the front to the triangle in the back. And the size between that is 2. So we multiply 25 times 2 to find the volume of the whole prism, which gives us 50 inches cubed. Try this one yourself to check for understanding. Example 2, find the missing dimension of the prism. So let's start with the formula for volume. Volume equals B times H, where B is the area of a triangle. So the formula for the area of a triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height of the triangle times this height, which is the height of the prism. So now let's start filling in any given information. So we have the volume, so we can replace V with 1,386 equal to 1/2 times the base of the triangle is 14 times the height of the triangle is 22 times, now we're missing the height of the prism, which is here, so we're just going to leave that as H. Now we can start simplifying what we have. 1/2 times 14 gives us 7. Bring everything else down. Now we can do 7 times 22. You get 14 and then 15. So this equals 154. Bring down our H. Bring everything else down. Now 154 is being multiplied by H, and I want to know what H is, so we want to get it by itself. So to get H by itself, I can use inverse operations and do the opposite of multiply by 154 and divide both sides by 154. So now those cancel out, and we have our variable H by itself. H is equal to 1,386 divided by 154, which equals 9. And because this is a missing dimension, the units of it are just meters. So the missing dimension is 9 meters. Pause the video here and try this one yourself. Example 3. Seth cut a piece of cake for himself. The cake has the dimensions shown. The volume of the piece of cake is 30 cubic inches. What is the height of the cake? So the formula for volume of a triangular prism is B times H, where B is the area of a triangle, and the formula for the area of the triangle is 1/2 times the base times the height of the triangle times the height of the prism. So let's fill in any given information. So we know that the volume is 30, so we can replace V with 30 equal to 1/2 times the base of the triangle is 4 times the height of the triangle is 6. So the only missing piece of information is the height of the prism, which is H. So now we can start simplifying. 1/2 times 4 gives us 2. Bring everything down. 2 times 6 gives us 12. So we have 12H is equal to 30. So now to solve for H, we have to get it by itself by using inverse operations. So the operation happening now is multiplication. So we're going to do the inverse and divide by 12 on both sides. These 12s cancel out, and we're left with H equals, now we have to do 30 divided by 12. So 12 goes into 30 2 times, which equals 24. We have 6, add a decimal and a 0. 12 goes into 60 5 times, so H equals 2.5 or 2.5 inches.
In a triangular prism, the bases are congruent triangle. As you see here, we have a triangular prism is the first base, and this is the second base. As you see here, the two bases, the two opposite bases here, parallel and congruent. So this base at the same size of this base, congruent. How to solve the volume of this triangular? Use the formula. The volume of triangular equal the base of the triangular. The base of triangular means we have triangle. The area of the triangle. Multiply by the height. The height, the distance between the two opposite pieces. This base and this base. This is the meaning of the height of triangular. Now see with me this video.
Okay, so here we want to find the volume of a triangular prism, which means it has a base that is a triangle. So here is your base. Okay, not all bases, or not all prisms lay on their bases. So the bases are the things that are parallel to each other. So because we have a triangular prism, our base is that of a triangle. So it's this thing here as your base, and that thing over there as your base. Okay, which is important to remember because of the volume formula, which is area of the base times the height. Okay, so our base is a triangle, which has 1/2 of base. In this case, we'll call the base 10. Okay, it's kind of what it's sitting on here. So the triangle has a base of 10, and the triangle itself has a height. So this is the height that goes with the triangle, as opposed to the height that goes with the prism. Okay, so formulas that have two heights in them can be kind of confusing. So that's all the stuff from your area of your triangular base, 1/2 of the base times the height for your triangle. Okay, now the next thing we need to do is find the height of the prism, which is the distance in between your bases. Since this is your bases, your height has to be 18. Okay, so we'll calculate the base area of your triangle. 1/2 of 10 times 3 is 15. So 15 times 18 is going to give us the volume for your triangular prism. Which, let's see, 15 times 18 is 270. So this triangular prism has a 270 cubic meter volume to it.
Example
Mister, I
one.
don't understand the handwriting.
Okay, listen to this example. Find the volume of the triangular prism. As you see here, we have triangular prism. Why? Because the base triangle. Right. Look to the information inside the figure. Here we have the base triangle. The base of triangle 8 and the height of triangle 10. And here we have the height of the prism. How to solve the volume? V equal, V means the area of the base. V capital letter here means the area of the triangle. And the height means the height of prism. So here we have two heights, the height of triangle and the height of prism. So in the formula, H here means the height of prism. How to solve? Use the formula of area of triangle. What is the formula of area of triangle? 1/2 multiplied by the base multiplied by the height of triangle. 1/2 multiplied by the base multiplied by the height of triangle. What is the base? Of triangle. The base of triangle here will be 8. And the height of triangle will be 10. Times H. H is the height of the prism, of the triangular prism. The value of the height will be 13. Now, the volume equal 10 multiplied by 8 will be 80. 10 multiplied by 8 will be 80. 80 multiplied by 1 will be 80. 80 divided by 2 will be 40. I will repeat, 10 multiplied by 8 will be 80. 80 multiplied by 1, 80. 80 divided by 2 will be 40. Now 40 multiplied by 13 equal 520. And the unit meter cubed, because we have meter times meter times meter. 3 times means we have meter exponent 3. I can read it, meter cubed. In this example, as you see here, we have a triangular prism. Why? Because the base triangle. Look to the information here. We have the base of triangle 0.3. The base of triangle we have 0.3 centimeter. And the height of triangle 1 centimeter. And we have the height of the triangular prism here 10 centimeter. How to solve the volume? The first step, write the formula. Write the formula. The volume of triangular prism equal the base of the area of the base of triangle. The area of the base of triangle multiplied by the height of prism. So B in capital letter means the area of the triangle. The area of the triangle. The base of the prism. And the height here means the height of prism. The height of prism. So you can now use the formula of area of triangle to solve the P in capital letter here. V equal, as you know, the area of the triangle 1/2 multiplied by the base of triangle multiplied by the height of triangle. Multiply by the base, multiply by the height. This is the base, 0.3, and this is the height. So I can write 1/2 multiplied by 1 multiplied by 0.3 times height, times height. The height here will be 10. The height here will be 10. So I can now multiply 10 multiplied by 0.3 will be 3, multiplied by 1 will be 3, multiplied by 1 will be 3, 3/2, or 3 divided by 2, 1.5, and the unit here centimeter cubed, centimeter cubed. And here we have some videos. When you have free time, you can see the all. And this is our lesson today, and tomorrow we will continue, inshallah, this lesson.
Mr.
Now, who has a question? Yes.
Base to find
Repeat.
if it is a triangular prism or rectangular.
Repeat your question, please.
We have to multiply the base first to know if it is triangular or rectangular.
Right, listen. When you have the base triangle, when you have the base triangle means the name of this prism, triangular prism, triangular prism.
Okay.
How to solve the volume? We have formula. P in capital letter multiplied by H. What's the meaning of P in capital letter? The area of the triangle. The area of the triangle. How to solve the area of the triangle? We have rule. We have rule to solve the area of the triangle. As you know, the area of the triangle, we have 1/2 multiplied by the base, multiplied by the height. 1/2 multiplied by the base, multiplied by the height. Then multiply by h. What's the meaning of h? The height of prism, not the height of triangle, the height of prism. Okay? Who has a question now?
Mr. My mark in the exam is good.
What's your name?
Ahmed al-Zahari.
I think good. I think good. I don't know the mark, but I think good.
Ustad,
Yes. Who has a question? Who has a question through our lesson? Who has a question through our lesson? And the all marks, inshallah, the all marks will be good. Will be good. Okay, don't worry. But now I have a question here. What is the total, the title of our lesson today? What is the title of our lesson today?
Rectangular prism.
Volume of rectangular triangular. Volume of
Prism.
triangular prism.
Triangle or rectangular prism.
What is the formula to solve the volume?
V
times
equals
B
B base and height.
Okay, V equal B in capital letter times height. What's the meaning of B in capital letter?
Volume.
B in
Base.
capital letter.
Base.
Not V.
Base.
The base of what? The base of what?
The prism.
The base, the area of the base of
Area.
triangle. The of the
Area.
base of. So B in capital letter means 1/2 multiplied by the base multiplied by the height of triangle. B in capital
Mister,
letter
you
means
can
1
send the
over.
PowerPoint.
Yes. B in capital letter means 1/2 multiplied by the base multiplied by the height of triangle, then multiply by the height of prism. Okay? So this is our lesson today. Tomorrow, inshallah, we will continue the same lesson. Now, let us to take attendance now.
Mister, can you start with 6A?
Inshallah.
6B.
أحمد.
موجود.
حمد الظاهري.
موجود.
حمد سعيد الجابري.
مستر موجود الحين عاد يطلع.
Yes, you can. حمدان العامري.
موجود أستاذ.
موجود أستاذ.
زايد النعيمي.
أستاذ اطلع.
You can, yes. زايد النعيمي. زايد النعيمي. Absent. زايد النعيمي. Okay. سالم هداف. سالم هداف. سالم هداف. عبد الرحمن.
موجود.
عبد الله التميمي.
موجود مستر.
عبد الله الأحبابي.
موجود مستر.
علي الرميثي.
موجود مستر. موجود.
عيسى. عيسى الراجدي.
موجود. موجود.
فلاح. 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 absent. طيب منصور أحمد الظاهري.
موجود.
أوكي. منصور البيك.
موجود.
منصور نايف.
موجود.
ميلاد.
عاد يطلع.
يوكانس. ميلاد. ميلاد.
مستر فلاح موجود. مستر.
نعم مستر، أنا ميلاد في عندي مشكلة في المايك.
أوكي.
مستر عاد يطلع.
يوكانس. هزاع. هزاع القحطاني. هزاع. هزاع. absent. أوكي.
مستر موجود.
هزاع
مستر.
موجود. خلفان
موجود.
خليفة عبيد خليفة
موجود
دويس
موجود
إياب سالم جمعة
موجود
خليفة سلطان خليفة
موجود أستاذ.
سيف
موجود أستاذ موجود.
أوكي. عبد الله الجابري
موجود أستاذ.
أوكي. فارس
موجود
أوكي. محمد سالم الراشدي
موجود أستاذ.
أوكي. محمد عبد العزيز
موجود أستاذ.
أوكي. محمد عمار
موجود.
محمد عمر العامري محمد عمر العامري محمد عمر العامري منصور علي
أستاذ موجود.
منصور محمد المهيري
موجود
موسى
أستاذ.
ناصر
موجود أستاذ.
So this is our lesson today, how to find the volume of triangular prism. Tomorrow inshallah we will continue our lesson. Thank you for your listening. Have a nice day. See you tomorrow inshallah. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.